And hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Prime Educational Lab. In our last class, we talked about taxonomy, the kingdom, the phylum, the class, the order, family, genus, and species. So I remember telling you that a group of organisms form what kingdom, depending on how similar they look. In kingdoms, we have groups of organisms with more similar features, forming what a phylum, and the same goes for class, goes for order, goes for family, goes for genus, and species. So today we'll be talking about the 5 groups in the kingdoms. So today we'll start with the first one. We have the kingdom Monera, then we have the kingdom Protista, then the kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae, and the kingdom Animalia. So today we'll talk about characteristics of all these kingdoms as well as their examples. Okay, so let's start with the first one, kingdom Monera. So organisms in the kingdom Monera are unicellular and microscopic organisms. They are called unicellular and microscopic organisms. So number 2, they are also known as prokaryotic organisms. That is no membrane bound structures. That is no ER and no mitochondria. Now their cell walls are made of murine. It spells. Their cell walls are made of murine. Now examples of organisms in the kingdom Monera are majorly bacteria. Alright, the cyanobacteria and photosynthesizing bacteria also. So we'll go to the second kingdom, the kingdom Protestas. Okay, so the kingdom Protestas are also known as small eukaryotic organisms. So that is they have a membrane-bound structure. Alright, unlike the prokaryotic organisms. Now they usually live in aquatic environment. Organisms in the kingdom Protista, the kingdom Protista are neither plants, animals, or fungi. That is, you can't call them animals, you can't call them plants, you can't call them fungi as well. So examples of organisms in this category, we have the algae, we have the slime mold, we have plasmodium, malaria-causing plasmodium. So this takes us to the next kingdom, the kingdom fungi. The kingdom fungi are also known as eukaryotic organisms. So when we talk of eukaryotic, we're talking about them having a membrane-bound nucleus. Now they are also multicellular, and then lots of cellular structures. Now the cell walls are made of chitin. The cell walls of organisms in the kingdom fungi are made of chitin, and then they are heterotroph. That is, they don't make their own food. They depend on other source of food and then energy. Examples of organisms in this, we have mushrooms, we have the mold, and we have puffballs. Alright, all these are examples of organisms in the kingdom fungi. Then we go to the kingdom Plantae. So kingdom Plantae are also eukaryotic organisms. They are autotroph, meaning they make their own food. They photosynthesize. Alright, and then they make their own food. Their cell walls are made of cellulose. The cell wall of organisms in the kingdom Plantae are made of cellulose. And examples, we have our flowering plants, our trees, and then all of that. So we'll go to the next one, the kingdom Animalia. The kingdom Animalia are also eukaryotic organisms. They are also eukaryotic organisms having a well-structured nucleus. And then they are heterotroph, meaning they don't make their own food. Like I said earlier, they depend on plants as well as other animals to feed. Now the kingdom Animalia is subdivided into 2. We have the vertebrates and we have the invertebrates. Okay, so vertebrates, as we all know, are animals that have backbones, while invertebrates are animals without backbone. Examples of organisms in the kingdom Animalia, that's where we have the fishes, the birds, humans, pigs, cows, and so on and so forth. That's the end of our class today, and then in our next class we'll talk more on higher plants and lower plants, as well as the differences between both of them before we move into cells. So it's nice having you around. Do enjoy the rest of the time. Thank you.